Hear me out when I say this. 2 years back, I seen a post on Facebook and it read, "A white girl calling me ugly could never hold no weight."
Welcome on another episode, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you guys for your constant support. And if you are joining this channel for the very first time, I hope this is not going to be your last time. So please smash the subscribe button and turn your bell notification on. We have a black woman here who decided to drop just a little bit of spice for the palm colored, women, because she said she's going to ruffle some feathers, and I think she did. But more of the things she did was even letting people come out with their own story and even confirm what she was saying in her video. I am going to roll the clip because I want you guys to hear from the horse's mouth. So I have put together all of this clip. So relax, sit back, and let's get right into it.
I think this is gonna ruffle some feathers, but I'm in the mood for ruffling feathers. I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them. I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
Oh, no, they know. They know you're prettier than them. They know you're very, very pretty. And they know that all things considered, if you could measure these things by rubric, that you would be prettier than them. But the benefit of white supremacy, of adhering to white supremacy, and you've probably noticed this, if you're the kind of person who pays attention to these kinds of patterns, is that you don't have to live like anything is true that you don't acknowledge. It doesn't matter that you know it. It doesn't matter that you see it. It doesn't matter that you heard it. It doesn't matter that you feel it. As long as you don't acknowledge it, as long as you don't admit to it, you can always live like it's not true and find people who will do the same.
I think this is gonna ruffle some feathers, but I'm in the mood for ruffling feathers. I think
Context, I worked as a model, and this is gonna be a model story. A couple of years back, I was shooting with another model. She was flown in from America, and there was 3 of us on set. We were shooting a campaign, and I remember, obviously, we did like a trio shoot. There was 3 of us, and one of the photographers kept commenting about the other model, who happens to be a black model, about how stunning she looked in the picture. And it was normal day. I guess the photographer knew the model and just wanted to hype her up because it's just, woman supporting woman. And the other girl that was in the shot with us got really angry. And then she's like, "Oh my God, aren't I beautiful?" And then we all looked at each other, me and the other girl, we looked at each other like, I don't think it was that deep, because first of all, I didn't say anything because I was like, I know I look good. I don't need to be reassured by people. But I felt like in that space, because there was 2 of us who happens to be black, she had to have "you are the most beautiful in the room." And in fact, we were just doing our own thing, but she made it known that obviously that made her uncomfortable. And I just thought it was just maybe she just felt a certain way because the photographers were saying that to the other girl and didn't say it to her, which was perfectly fine. Maybe that was the only reason. And then as we finished the shoot, I think we got the same Uber because we were going to the same place. I was going back to the airport to fly back to Melbourne, and she was going to the airport because I'm pretty sure she was flown in from Gold Coast because that's where her agency is, and she was staying there. So she had to go to Gold Coast. So we both went to the airport, and then she was talking to me. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm usually always complimented. I can't believe the photographers even comment about my beauty today." And I remember I was in the car ride what the hell? I don't think it was that deep. But the fact that the photographer commented on the black girl's beauty, that made her feel so uncomfortable that she had to make it known that she's the most beautiful in the room.
some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
In Thick, Professor Tressie McMillan Cotton says, "Whiteness exists as a response to blackness. Whiteness always makes it clear who is black by delineating who is officially white. It would stand to reason that beauty's ultimate function is to exclude blackness." And what's so fascinating is you'll see comments under her video that say, "You are a beautiful black woman, but it's because you have anglicized or Eurocentric features." And so even in that video, we see how the commenters are putting blackness and beauty as oppositional to one another. They will acknowledge her beauty, but only after extricating her out of her blackness. Many white women have to realize that part of their self-conception and self-esteem might be tied to the fact that they are not black women. And I think because of this, when black women shine, it can be very threatening to white women's conception of themselves. We actually saw an example of this with AD and how white women treated her when men desired her on Love is Blind. Part of allyship is decolonizing beauty.
I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
This is so true, but I just wanted to come on here and say it's not just certain white women that act like this, it's also non-Black women of color. Just so that y'all have some context, the friend I'm about to talk about is full Asian, and then I am half Black, half Asian. This is important for the story, I promise. So one night, my friend and I, we went to this one party. It had predominantly, I'd say just predominantly Asian people there, and more people asked for my number than her number that night. And I remember the next morning, she was just flabbergasted. She was like, oh my gosh, wow, I can't believe that many people asked for your number. And while I thought it was a little weird, I was just like, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, I didn't think much of it. I got a lab report to write. And she said, verbatim, I think it's because you don't really look that Black. I was like, excuse you? Excuse me? What do you mean I don't look Black? I apologize, my Southern came out there a little bit. I was raised by a man from Mississippi, so that's why you heard that voice. That night really set the stage for the rest of our friendship because I realized that is what you think of Black women. Because if I was not mixed, would you have felt so comfortable to say that? If I was a full Black woman, what excuse would you have said then to make yourself feel better that a Black woman got more attention than you?
I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
So hear me out when I say this. 2 years back, I seen a post on Facebook and it read, a white girl calling me ugly could never hold no weight. I screenshotted it and I reposted it to Snapchat. Because fucking duh, I felt that in my chest. But then somebody had swiped up and they asked me, they was like, can you make this make sense for me? So I explained it to them the best way that it makes sense to me. We hold completely different beauty standards. What white people find to be beautiful and what Black people find to be beautiful is two completely different things. Now, again, what they have going on stands from racism. Yeah. But me personally, I tell you now, I don't personally think there's a white woman that look better than me. I'm sorry. And there was a white girl that stitched this, and I seen her say, she was telling a story about how, somebody was trying to describe somebody, and they said, the really pretty one. And she completely was naming all the other white players on her team, disregarding the Black girl, because she was like, why would she be, yeah. But in the same breath, I would have did the same shit. Because who are you? And I don't mean that to say that I think that every white woman's ugly. That's not what I think. But when it comes to standards, personally, if you put a picture of a white woman and a picture of me next to each other, and you ask me who I think looks better, it's going to be me every time. I don't care who it is. But I don't know. I hope y'all get what I'm trying to say though. It's like apples to oranges. You cannot compare the two. You can't to me. Even if you take whoever the prettiest white woman they think is, and, our prettiest Black girl, you put them together, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck are we comparing? There's nothing to compare. We know who the baddest bitch is here. No, but seriously though, I understood what she said, and it was just crazy because I had to explain that to somebody, and he was like, it shouldn't matter who, calls you ugly. And I said, it don't. I'm not. But coming from a white woman, her trying to call me ugly, it could never sting because, baby, you wouldn't get it no how.
I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
I have a meeting in 15 minutes, so I'm gonna make this quick. But basically yesterday I went to Safeway to get my mom some flowers for Mother's Day. And they had this little station where this lady was wrapping up the flower bouquets, making them cute and stuff. And my dad was throwing a barbecue, so I was picking up corn, so I was in the produce section, and then I went to the flowers. And the whole time there was this white lady who had to have been in her 30s maybe, I don't know what she was, but she kept staring at me up and down, giving me dirty looks, it was so obvious to the point where I was uncomfortable, and I kind of just brushed it off. I'm like, okay, maybe I just look good, I don't know, I know I did. This is literally what I was wearing, right? Just some yoga pants, jacket, whatever the fuck. So then I'm in line waiting for my bouquet to be made. I had 3 bunches of lilies, and I'm just standing in line minding my business on my phone, and she's in front of me and her boyfriend's there, and her boyfriend's this skinny Latino guy, right? and they're both just sitting there, and mind you, like, no offense to them, but they're not like, they weren't like an attractive couple. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to be mean at all. But basically, the entire time in the line, this bitch keeps looking at me, like, back and forth. Like, I'm just literally on my phone, I'll catch her, like, looking at me. And, like, you know when you can tell someone's looking at you, like, through your, like, rear view, blind side, whatever the fuck. So I'm looking at my phone, and she's staring at me for, like, 15 seconds. I'm just on my phone, and then I finally look up, and then she looks at me, rolls her eyes, and looks away. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck is your problem? And then, like, multiple times, like, even when I was getting corn, even when I was getting, like, my flowers, she would, like, be near me, and then she would start aggressively making out with her boyfriend while, like, looking at me. Like, she would look at me, then, like, grab her boyfriend, like, bring him in and, like, start making out with him. And it wasn't, like, a cute little kiss. Like, I'm not a big PDA person, neither is my boyfriend, so we don't really make out in public unless we're, like, fucking blacked out. But, like, it was, like, tongue, I heard everything, and I was like, there's hella people at Safeway, it's Mother's Day, people are getting last minute flowers, like, people were even looking, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with her? But yeah, I just thought that was so fucking weird. And it's like, her boyfriend, like, I didn't even see him looking at me, like, he didn't try to talk to me, like, I don't even think he noticed that I was there. So it was like, she was just projecting her insecurity for no reason, because there was like if he had tried to talk to me or something, then, like, I would, like, kind of understand, like, okay, maybe she's, like, insecure, whatever the fuck. But mind you, I'm in that bitch, like, no makeup, my hair was, like, in a fucking bun, I was looking like this, and she was just, like, I don't know, she just gave off, like, the weirdest energy. And it's like, your boyfriend couldn't even get my name, let alone my number, out of me. Like, you're so safe, you're safe. But yeah, this video reminded me of that, because I don't know, she was ugly, let's just be honest. Like, she wasn't cute, he wasn't cute. So I was like, what part of you thought that anything would happen? Like, I'm happy for you, girl, like, I got a boyfriend too. Like, it was just weird. But yeah, I could make like 100 videos stitching the original creator. But yeah, this just literally happened yesterday.
The people who do this comparison thing between white girls and black girls, they really need to be flawed, because there's really nothing to compare. I really love the stitch of the lady who said there is no white person that they can put beside her and she'll ever feel like they are prettier than her, because there's nothing to be compared there. It's just like apple and orange. Like, why are you comparing the two when it's a total different thing? What these people find as beautiful is not the same thing that we find as beautiful. So why do we have to even compare? And you guys, those stories are wild. While this lady has not even, finished posting a video, guess the very first comment on that video that I came across. And I think one of the stitches as well pointed out how that the comments were even confirming what she's saying. Like, they will only say you're beautiful and add it to the fact that you have some features that makes you beautiful. The very first comment I saw was from Granny, and the profile picture looks like a old woman. And it's just so sad because this person needs to get a life. This woman said, actually, you are a black girl with white girl featuring. What is white girl featuring? That lady is a beautiful black woman. What is white girl featuring? Like, when I saw this comment, I just laughed so loud, because they literally just confirmed what that lady was saying. This person said, oh, they know how pretty you are. They just want you to think you're not, because if you have to blow your horn, or if you show that you're confident in how you feel, it makes them uncomfortable. There is nothing like we have to be on the same level when it comes to these people, because that is where they feel their power lies. Another person said, my ex best friend, she would act like she was the default and I was a preference. Akama was her crush of 3 years, finally taking her out for the first time and ending up confessing he was attracted to me. She's supposed to lock herself in the room and cry for 100 freaking days with no food, no water, nothing, because I literally love this. The last one I have here said, and they try to act like they are more attractive around you but won't stop looking at you, and that is the fact. There are so many black women who are so beautiful. In fact, beautiful features, their own natural features make us more beautiful. Black people natural features make us more unique, makes us more different. I don't think comparing the two even make any sense, because there is nothing, literally nothing to be compared. Let me know what you guys think about that lady's video, and what do you think about the stitches and these stories, because these stories are wild. That woman has just pointed out the fact that they know that you're beautiful, they just want to act like it does not exist because you're not acknowledging it. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section, and I am going to see you guys in the next one.